Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Valorant Beltway Battles. We are in a top 16 single elimination, and here today we have a Rutgers versus Howard University. Lumi, what do you know about these teams? What are we looking forward to coming into this?
Well, if you want me to be brutally honest, man, the seed difference is going to be insane in this game. I've seen both teams play previously. However, Howard, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to need some strong off-round rip momentum if we're going to be winning this game. Rutgers, I believe, defending from what I've heard, multiple champions. I'm expecting big things, but I mean, going into the map selection, both pretty safe maps. I mean, although we've seen Ascent and Haven a lot recently. The split pick, what do we think, Soy?
So I actually haven't looked at new split all that much, but from what I understand, Rutgers was the previous champion of last season's Valorant Beltway Battles. So they already have footing in the game, right? We already know that they have the pre-established. They've been in the arena with me. I casted the grand finals game, and they crushed. So I'd like to see that same performance come up for them. I don't think split was legal when we were in the spring season, so I've never actually seen the one split at all.
Yeah, and I mean, especially going into this, I mean, Howard getting unluckily matched with the previous champions. You got to wonder if there's any mental, any mental issues going into this game. Obviously, you want to be able to keep this confidence, but I mean, on the side of Rutgers, we have a Phoenix pick as well as Chamber. I mean, maybe a bit of troll, not too sure, but it is catching me off guard.
I think the thing I'm looking at with this Phoenix pick here is what is it? I remember on these apps, you used to run, especially the long ones like this, you used to run the Astra Viper. The Phoenix takes kind of the spot of the Viper that you get that horizontal coverage with the wall, and then your Omen can be a little more sparse with the smokes. It gives you a few more defensive options to be able to save that valuable resource, the two smokes you have. Um, but I again haven't seen the Phoenix. Right across from the Phoenix, you're seeing from Howard University, they are pulling out the Viper here. It looks like they are going to commit to that double smoke setup. Rutgers is going to get the advantage of having the more aggressive smoker out from Phoenix, but Howard might gain a little more defense. So I mean, we have to see how this ends up panning out.
I mean, especially looking at the fact that we're picking Chamber in 2023, especially. I mean, we're not yay, but almost could be. But boom. Anyways, very aggressive team comp on the side of Rutgers, and I mean they are getting attacked first, so maybe that's the reason why we're starting off with something so aggressive. However, I am very excited to see a Chamber come out. It's been a minute, and I mean I'm always a fan of Phoenix, so I want to see him cranking out these ult orbs. You know, basically popping Phoenix ults every 2-3 rounds, if that.
And coming into this game, we're looking at the scoreboard here, and there's a very astute observation. If you see here, if you're not super experienced with Valorant, you might not notice this. But Howard University does have HU before their attacks, which means they're more synergized as a team, which means they committed to changing their names. That might be the thing that turns this series around.
Absolutely. I mean, and definitely striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. I mean, we have Prof to hype, Professor to hype, or Prophet to hype, and then we have Beast to hype. I mean, some absolute Fortnite clan taggery going on in this, but I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, he's flipping this gun here. He's really showing what he's doing, but we're going to see these early fights come out fast with Rutgers pushing up B very rapidly. Ballin beats Prof2 Hype in the Jet Ditto, but now Rutgers with a pretty solid hold over B. They have that Omen watching down mid, making sure there's no funny business happening, and now Kenny Cosmic having a fight just for his own life, ends up losing it. Boga getting caught by this Killjoy here as he tries to sneak away, but Fairy ends up sneaking away, only taking half of that health as damage, but the team's pulling up now, putting pressure on it, and now Rutgers, a very clean round one pistol. They're able to push their way out on B side, able to establish the dominance there, and then at that point the flanks didn't matter. They didn't have the space they needed.
And I mean, going into this pistol round, we did see quite a little bit of revolver spinning on the side of Howard's Jet, I myself have been waiting for that sheriff to come back in my shop for probably since the bundle went away.
You need to understand, I've never seen that sheriff in my life, and that was the coolest
thing
I've
ever seen. Sick. Yeah, that sheriff is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be sitting there spinning it myself. However, I'm kind of surprised that Ballin got balled out on that early in the round, considering they didn't look towards long ball. Starting off very aggressive pick out of Kenny. frag potential, and your vacuum cleaner in short, nothing we haven't seen before.
It's able to take out 2 though, and we're showing how valuable that is. But Smoke actually missed, and they missed me. Jumping on top of a box with no protection here. That vacuum we were talking about just gets immediately wiped, and ooh, the classic thing goes so close to such high value picks for Howard University, but Rutgers able to take that second round there, holding on to a pretty decent part of their guns, and we're going into this third round here, forcing a buy from both sides, it seems.
And I mean, especially going into this, we see yet another judge on the attacker's side, Sova, nonetheless, right? Definitely questionable. I mean, to some people who are not familiar, might look a little bit like a troll pick. However, we saw him run down that short and basically come out on top. Questionable, you know, jumping into CT while reloading. But I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it. And he's definitely proving to be able to go for it. But into the buy round.
There's an argument that if your Sova is going to be the one to throw that utility early, then basically he's done his job now and he can just run in, doesn't have to focus on using utility.
I mean, Sova is the entry, you know, very questionable, but finding the opening pick, they missed me, not able to counter with their own judge. Boga going nuclear in garage.
Spike planted.
They're just setting the tempo here and almost not hitting that shot. Kenny Costa with this beautiful riot buddy here. Having
questionable crosshairs. Honestly, this is something I would have seen playing Crunker back in my Chromebook days while trying to hide my PC from my school teacher. A little bit questionable, but Rutgers closing out 3-0, and you have to wonder,
they're supposed to be fighting back, right?
What am I watching?
What?
Gun here.
We came into this being like, maybe the Phoenix is a joke pick, but they wouldn't do that, right? Okay, now I'm considering that they might do that.
You know, this is starting to look like...
They might just be memeing.
This is starting to look like Temple playing on Haven, running basically the equivalent of Reyna Sage, double Senti, Deadlock, and a whole lot of baloney, which I coached, by the way, and there was a lot of yelling. At this point, I mean, bigger crosshair, bigger bullets, right? Surely. And I mean, starting out with a full 5A hit, and what looks like a gamble stack Seaside is not going to be the right play. And Jason Lee coming in with a Sova judge. Afraid of absolutely nothing, by the way.
I mean, Rutgers is going to get this entire site for free, but it looks like Howard's noticed what they're doing. And we're going to be able to see that beautiful 5v5 retake here. And we're wondering if this giant crosshair is going to be able to hit some shots. Fairy taking out Beast Type, that's a great early pick, and holding onto the gun as well.
Viper kind of just hitting a tech deck kip flip out CT on the site and immediately getting shut down.
Yeah, Jason
how do
Lee.
you push into the judge?
He's sitting here with that judge out. He's getting a little risky with it, and he gets out for free. Proctor finishing off the mid-speed. And now, with just a few guns from that Fairy running that silver gun buddy, not able to prove that they are truly silver though. And Rutgers 4-0. They're showing, you know, a lot of dominance in this set early. Jason Lee is really swagging on it. And Prof with that gigantic crosshair, sadly at the bottom of the leaderboard.
And I mean, realistically, you know, going into this, if you're a coach on the side of Howard, right? And I mean, I'm fairly certain Howard does indeed have a coach. What are we thinking here, getting entry fragged by a Sova with a judge almost 5 rounds in a row?
I mean, I would be pretty defeated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably in the room making rice right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking a mental tech pause real quick. I mean,
dude,
the recoil on this crosshair.
I'm so long with that crosshair. Also, your own teammate. What a great play from Beach right
Alling
there.
finds the opening pick with the op, and I mean, this crosshair is the size of C Long.
But yeah, I mean, wait, hold up. It looks like Howard is able to start to make their mark. Ballin with 2 very great picks here with that operator. It's just up to Beast to hype and almost here. Almost finding the key pick there. Now they're down to a 2v1, or now, yeah, 2v1 Howard with just Beast to hype, a rifle, and a dream. Kenny Cosmic is holding down this garage together and able to get the final kill there.
And I mean, from the perspective of Howard, right, surely you have to be seeing, you know, this chamber be hopping and spraying with a Vandal as well. I mean, they can't tell what crosshair the enemy jet has on. But I mean, this guy's either banking on not making himself look bad by, you know, giving off the I'm not trying stereotype or whatever, but I'm a little bit curious. Are we just having fun with it? What's the mood today? You know, a little bit questionable.
I mean, losing that round definitely puts a little dent, but you know, Rutgers might be able to just actually focus up. It's clear they weren't taking that round super duper seriously. but with a
Joke's over!
very
You're
quick
dead!
garage push right now, forcing Howard University off of this very valuable spot. The Seekers come out, are able to get Beast to height, but the immense pressure is just enough to push Howard University right off that site. They missed me with, okay, the Judge just trade. They missed me playing the Judge battle. Jason Lee drops that Judge to grab the Vandal, able to take out They Missed Me, and now fighting a 2v4. Howard University has to come back from this. Both players are completely split, one in CT, one stuck on mid, but Ballin holding this operator, it might just be enough. Ballin able to take out Prof 2 height, marked with the drone though, but even if marked with the drone, they're still gonna have to challenge this operator, pulling out the jet knives, and now down to an even 2v2. Ballin not able to see this coming out, but able to still get the kill on Boga there. It's just up to the chamber. Ballin does hold this off, but almost stop. Able to take out, finally isolating the 1v1 and clutching up that 2v2. It was very reasonable for Rutgers to lose that there, but you know, that Judge teabag and the op kills might just be what turned the tide there. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I got lightheaded just hearing you cast that. I'm gonna be honest. Coming from somebody who said, you know, they had an asthma attack going into this, I really expected to hear a thud in the background. But I mean, you know, fair play, more power to you.
I mean, sometimes you work through it. I mean, Prof 2 hype, we're seeing this now. I'm basically playing like Prof 2 hype. I got that giant crosshair with the asthma attack, but I'm still working through it. I'm still getting them kills.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I mean, going into this, Rutgers has 2 ults. The Stinger diff, gun's been broken since it came out. You know, I don't know how many nerfs. Really can't fix it. Long range Judge action. More Stinger picks out.
Wall still getting the pick there. That Molly is going to take out Nevage here. And now Beast type with 2 kills on his belt. A 3v3 once again. Rutgers might be
Omen
beating
with a late
hard.
lookup. C.
Yeah,
Questionable, but we do find the pick.
Hey, the pick is the
Bomb goes
pick.
down
Almost
C.
just a beautiful jump shot to take out They Miss Me.
And I mean, at this point, it's just a Judge v Judge action.
One enemy remaining.
We are in classic range, but Boga able to win that 1v1 there. Now it's just up to Kenny Cosmic. He does have that rifle and full util up. Where is Bomb? Oh, it's planted. Oh, it's on C.
Yeah, I mean, when we tabbed back into that Omen earlier, they got the perfect timing
One
on the
enemy
alarm
remains.
bot. Kenny Cosmic going absolutely bodacious almost. But is he aware of the backdoor trapdoor? It's possible. Kenny going crazy. Does he have time?
It doesn't really seem like.
Not
Oh
look
no,
like it.
does he have it? No, he doesn't. Yeah. But kind of a great play there, actually, to pull out the knife. I think baits your opponent to thinking there's a free kill there, right? Committing to, hey, you're gonna be able to take care of me, you're gonna be able to kill me, but look behind you, there's a bomb exploding in your face.
And I mean, at that point, really all they have to do is play for time. You know, obviously, shilling out those chamber bullets there, maybe not my ideal play. I probably would have switched, started spamming with the classic instead. You know, in this economy, especially myself living in California, you know, that cost of living is absurd. Throwing around $150 bullets like they're nothing, not really my cup of tea. But going into this, we do have the T side off. I'm very excited to see how almost gets some kills.
But
Prof 2 hype, the duck thing.
Early pick, yeah. That Viper Wall is going to slow them down a little bit, but Boga is in heaven with the TP. He commits to it, drops the bomb, and now getting flash. Now he's got 2 people pushing him, but it is so possible for him to get these early kills. That flash through, flashing out They Miss Me, but unfortunately, They Miss Me wasn't carrying an actual weapon, was carrying a drum on a stick, able to get that beautiful kill there. Ballin takes out Jason Lee, and now Rutgers are down in numbers, evening it out back to a 3v3. That Killjoy is going to force them off site. It is going to give Howard University the space they need. Neviash sticking the bomb here. Prof needs to be able to find this kill early, but it's going to happen. The beautiful defuse coming in from Neviash. The defuse was perfect to protect them, and Howard University getting these last kills. That's all they needed there, and able to get the ground and get a few guns off of Rutgers. What a great play from them, capitalizing off of that kill royale and using as much juice as they can just to protect the diffuser.
I mean, coming into this next round, right, we look at this by a little bit questionable. Chamber with a Bucky of all things, right? A little bit questionable. You're not quite sure. But
well, yeah,
this
so
is also the round. There you
go,
does break. True, but also at the same time, I mean, we're T-side Bucky Chamber, you know, with bomb.
You're kind of hoping that Howard just gets a little too antsy here. Seeing as Howard's been playing, you flashing your own teammate is the perfect play there. Boga able to take out Ballin pretty early, and now this B push, this flash is beautiful and actually gets past the turret, but you do have to make a little bit of noise. You know Barry's coming. Depends on if he's able to. Ooh, good timing here. Barry and Neviash able to get those perfect picks just in the right moment, and now fighting a 3v2 once again. The judge is making such a big impact on this game.
And the
So that is,
Viper
like,
ult coming
half
out
kills,
on
yeah.
bomb as well. They
Last
have
player
nothing to do
standing.
except hop into it. Hop into this bad boy with the judge. I mean, we got like 40 of them on the ground somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
Pick up
Prototype
one and
is
go
doing
for
this
it.
op, though. I mean, it depends. Like, does Prototype wants to save this op here, right? But Howard has so much control of the map. Where can he run to?
I mean, all things considered as well, this is the round that Rutgers Econ does break, if I remember
Please,
correctly.
please don't run into the judge.
Oh,
Okay.
and there we go. I mean, round's over. You know, we thought we were a little bit sneaky, saw the Viper ult, decided to go for it, but
I mean, Rutgers is
unfortunately,
looking so dominant early, right? And it seems
Absolutely.
like it seems like they're doing a judge or doing a coach's nightmare and just kind of messing around right now. And Howard is capitalizing off these aggressive plays specifically with the judge. Rutgers is jumping into angles, and Howard is sitting there with the judge going, "Okay, you can't do this anymore. We know what you're doing."
and it also looks like on the side of Prof 2 Hype, we have seen the crosshair switch going Deagle full armor. I mean, this guy's about to let his demons out. I'm very excited to see. Prime Ye couldn't stop this boy. Let's see.
Yeah, Ballin. Oh my god, beautiful 2 kills early. Ball gets the 3rd with the operator. These two Hype with a great
standing.
flank though, able to take out
Spike
2.
down
And now
A.
it's just up to Prof 2 Hype. This demon you were talking about, is he gonna be able to do work with this operator?
And I mean, going into this especially, like, we have bomb, we're 3v1. We really don't even need to be chasing this kill. But on the side of Howard, it looks like they really want to get either the ego up or the eco down. And nope, never mind, deciding to rein it back in as soon as I say something about it. Will Prof 2 Hype push in to find these kills anyways? A little bit questionable to look behind. I mean, I'm pretty sure we saw all 3. Could be wrong though.
I feel like the best play here is to just grab the op and get out, but it looks like Prof 2 Hype wants to challenge this, really living up to the hype to the name. Maybe that 1v3 is possible, but they miss me stuck in the corner with the judge. I think 9 out of 10. He's dying to this judge.
Hoover vacuum cleaner now.
I lied.
Oh my god, and it's possible. 30 seconds on the clock. Knows where
30 seconds left.
Oh, but that's, ooh, gets directed by the turret. Getting Cosmic. Perfect pick there.
I mean, we gotta re-roll this round back like it's X set in 2020, 2022. I don't even know when Val came out, to be honest. I'm yapping.
Was it out in 20? Was it at 20?
No. I'm thinking of when they had that turret glitch on Ascent where it just snapped and shot when they didn't need to.
Oh, right, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Did somebody get fined for that?
I don't think there was a fine. I think there was a round re-roll back though.
Oh, okay.
blew up about
I
it.
feel like I remember that.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
this was like early.
It's the first time Rutgers has been showing a lot of presence, just pure C. We're usually seeing them push into garage and B, and making a split there, but now they're just running in on C. Oh yeah, that Phoenix ult is what they're
Very
doing.
aggressive Phoenix ults.
But that turret, he's gonna be able to take out 1. Barry is making his mark here, able to take out 2.
I mean, Jason Lee just deciding this is my site and my $1,850 gun decides how this game goes.
Yeah, Ballin still gets mowed down by Beast to Hype. Rutgers maybe pushing back to the momentum that they want to here. Neviage gets flashed, but just before the flash pops, able to get that final pick there. Getting Cosmic fighting
Last player standing.
able to even this out. And now it looks like Neviage might have a small chance here, even though it's going to be really hard pushing down this C long.
Just kidding. There is a judge on the board.
There is a judgment field. Yep.
And I mean, what really can you do? You kind of just gotta hope, throw a Pokeball at him, see what happens,
Yep,
and the game's over.
Jason
But I mean,
got 3
4-7?
kills with the judge.
4-7, it is a notoriously
round
attacker-sided
before the
map, at
switch.
least in the way that it is normally played. Not a bad half coming out of Howard, especially with Rutgers being, you know, expected to dominate, especially this game.
It's not even just expected to dominate, but with those dominant first 4 rounds. Like, it looked like Howard had no hope, and they started clawing their way back.
Absolutely, and I mean, on the side of Rutgers as well, we did go into this thinking there was a bit of trolling going on, but Phoenix
Keep up.
actually kind of seeming like a intentional pick, and I don't blame them, honestly. Every,
Look at
you know,
Prop
maybe
Touch
two,
there. It's real now.
we're locking in. It appears that we have registered as Howard being a threat.
They've locked in now. Yeah, they're ready, but
I got the
they
spike.
missed me sitting in the smoke with this judge here. Prop to Hype, grabbing the
Oh.
vent.
A little bit of a questionable play there. I mean, you know, perfect timing to cut, but I mean, what really could you ask for?
I don't know what the thought process is there.
A Viper pushing down mid with an op. I mean, it finds one anyways,
Spike
and
planted.
This game is honestly unreal. This feels like a fever dream.
Our university does have a pretty strong hold for Garage here. They're going to have to push in and be able to fight this bomb. But Prop 2 starting to get on the aggressive, trying to find a way through Garage. And if Prop 2 doesn't move fast enough, then they're going to be able to get all the space that they need.
Last player standing. Last player
But doesn't
standing.
actually find one. Almost, and Kenny Cosmic gets stuck in a tight 1v1, but Kenny Cosmic able to finish it out.
I'm going to be honest with you. Going into this retake, I didn't even realize bomb. Like, with the amount of chaos going in mid and Garage itself, I didn't even realize that we had taken enough space
Switching
on a
sides.
site in order to get bomb down itself. This looked like Rutgers was getting shut down in the push. But going into this next half, I mean, Howard has the potential to flip the switch here. Notoriously attacker-sided map. Seen Howard play before. Their attack is definitely way stronger than their defense. They definitely seem to have some issues on defense in terms of just, you know, getting those early reads, which especially with the team comp we're running, we lack a good bit of info here. Going into this, we don't need as much info being on the attack side. I really want to see them flip the switch and make Rutgers regret, you know, being a little bit troll for the first 4 rounds.
Look at this wall and those pings there, though. Looks like Howard wants to go through B all the way through CT straight to A. And I
mean,
want to see if this works.
This definitely seems like a VOD review nightmare, right? Like, so many things that could go wrong, especially Boga almost not finding the pick with the armor. Instant
Spike
refrags out of
down
both sides.
A.
I mean, 3v3. Jason Lee going down as well. Rutgers might be losing this round.
Oh, but Neviaj
Spike
loses the
down
bomb here,
A.
and now the bomb's stuck in A short. This plan might not come to fruition if they're gonna have to fight for A main here.
I mean, almost walking up kind of has the read that they're going to be behind, not coming from a normal T-spawn.
Last player
I wanted to
standing.
collapse so bad, man.
I mean, I was kind of crossing my fingers, and we have bomb. We don't need to fight, but it looks like we are. And Rutgers closing it out. And so many things that could have gone wrong, and a chunk of them did. Especially, I mean, we see this early wall, and we're thinking, okay, this is scary. We need to either fight these early fights and win them, or go for more of a dedicated site hit. And I mean, losing bomb in short, probably the worst thing we could have had happen. And then even more
hard to
so,
take back short, yeah.
even more so, we take back short and we get bomb back. And I mean, we get caught with our pants down reloading.
They tired. We don't.
Yeah, coming into this round, these Viper walls are so interesting because that's the big thing about Viper on attack, is it is kind of telegraphing where you want to go. But Boca with a quick early pick on Neviat with this beautiful Guardian of his. And now it looks like how did
When did Jason Lee even get up here?
Spawn.
How was he about to win that? Let's discuss that. How is bowling at 18? That's it.
Judge versus
Bowling
Sheriff
at
in mid to long range as well. Honestly, kind of mind-boggling. The inner jump shot with the chamber dig. This round has not made a single bit of sense.
If you're both these teams' coaches right now, you're slamming your head against your desk.
I mean, at this point, I'm looking like Paper X's coach in the most recent Champions Tour. Like, there's just there's nothing in my brain that makes any bit of sense right now. Like, we've seen a Judge run up on the Sova, mind you, run up B window, find 2, and almost find 3 on a mid to long range fight. I mean, Riot, come on.
Look
Nerf
at this wall.
the Hoover vacuum
What
cleaner.
does this wall mean to Rutgers? What does it say?
For the most part as well, I mean, if we're putting this up every single round, which we are, and Omen could go big here as well, the timing, I don't think they're aware.
Ooh, almost actually losing that. But Jason
And
Lee,
where is Sova coming from? I haven't even seen him. I'm gonna need to put like a live ping on this guy. He's just been appearing out of nowhere.
We do. Okay, we do
One
have our
enemy
TOs here
remaining.
sitting right next to me. I need you to
Spike
watch this guy
down
and make sure
A.
he's not cheating and teleporting across the map, because I don't know how he's getting here.
I mean, last round specifically, up B window in a matter of seconds into T spawn, just baffling. I'm
Dude,
lost.
These are strats that work in my rank, and I am the gun buddy on this gun right now. Like,
And I mean, trying to play this very reserved, very slow. And I mean, Jason Lee is honestly just kind of like, gotta be watching TikToks on their phone right now. One hand on the keyboard, running it down.
Subway Surfers, Family Guy funny moments.
Exactly. Like, we have so many tabs open right
If
now.
I'm
Not
Barry
even paying
here,
attention.
I'm happy that I killed Jason Lee. Like, this is the scourge of our game right now. If we lose 1-13 and I kill Jason Lee 13 times, that's fine. That's all
Exactly. At that point,
matters,
it's my team's fault, right? Like, because I've
Right,
killed the carry. But, I mean,
Dude,
going into
we
it
gotta
again,
watch
I mean,
this
I'm
be like a
keeping an
hawk.
eye on this Sova. I'm keeping an eye on this Sova because I mean, this guy's coming out of nowhere every single round.
I don't know how he's getting up that fast without making noise.
Never
He's
mind, it
throwing
makes
the
sense.
dart,
He doesn't
too.
care at all. I mean, are they even going to be able to do anything about it? Wait, he made it all the way to T-spawn, almost killing Sky. Even the
They
one
were
shot.
waiting for him there, though. There was an alarm bot waiting for him.
One enemy
Kenny Cosmic is
remaining.
going to get stuck in this corner. Boga and Cosmic finishing them off. And now this Omen stuck in main. Like, even when the judge doesn't make an impact, it pushes them and makes them panic so hard, the rest of the team is able to collapse around them.
Watching this back, right? Like, as a coach on Howard, right? If you're coaching Howard and you see that your team is basically single-handedly getting ran down, right? I mean, this guy ran down knife out mid.
Need a drop.
We sent nobody grass and almost finds the pick on our Sky. Like, do we have headphones at this point? Is something I'm concerned about.
You're scared of
Right here.
sending somebody into grass. As we all know, Jason Lee does have the actually character-specific ability to put a muzzle or to put a little thing on his judge that makes it have a million rounds of range, and you can't challenge grass at that point. But they're able to get this early pick on almost this might be what we need. If we pay attention to Jason Lee right now, he's not actually running it down. So this might be what Howard needs.
And I mean, this might be the switch up that causes Rutgers to at least lose one round. But I mean, Jason Lee coming out immediately, not a care
Oh, yeah,
in the
there it
world, does not care about anything whatsoever. I mean,
Don't jump peek when you're flashed.
I gotta wonder. I mean,
Planted.
realistically, the coach put this guy on the board, pulling out Daznert level strats right now. I mean, able to find kills, whether they... And I'm so confused.
What are you doing? What's the? Is the coach also like this? Is the coach telling them to do this?
I gotta know. Like, absolutely, the coach has to be a Paper X player. There's no way. These strats make no sense to anybody other than Paper X.
If that op shot hit, I would have given them the prize money. I would have rallied the stage. I would have been like, all right, they win. They win Beltway battles.
Dude, I mean, seeing Jason Lee 16 and 15, right? Majority only using Judge. I mean, unbind W, man. You have ran it down the past 4
Six
rounds.
more deaths
Give some
than the
mercy.
lowest kill to this team.
This guy has to be the first death like every single round. Boga finding 2.
Get 2 here, and Prof kept losing the Jason Lee. He's working through the turret.
Spike down. C.
And I mean, almost
Last
wins it
player
too if we're
standing.
thinking about it, right? And Rutgers somehow closes out the round. I'm so perplexed. Jason Lee is basically a walking ult orb and also kind of just baiting as well. Baiting so that way, you know, Phoenix, they don't expect the second one right behind and an immediate refrag as well. I mean, call it stupid, call it brain dead, call it whatever you want. It's working.
No, because you can't read your opponent if your opponent doesn't know what they're doing.
Jason Lee absolutely, like, the Valorant strats literally have to be Jason go kill.
Or the Valorant strats just say, we do a thing, and if Jason goes somewhere, he goes somewhere. It happens.
Just trail like 2 to 3 feet behind Jason and
Keep in mind,
expect
this
to
dude
find
is
kills.
full naming in Valorant.
Absolutely. Government initials. The pop and swing as well, and we're back into T-spawn once again. And I mean, almost has to clutch up something here, and it's just... I mean, honestly, it's gonna be difficult.
But Beast Type able to find the pick there. They've evened this out to a 2v2. And now, if they can handle They Miss Me, they know they have that innovation about the judge now. But right behind Beast Type, it doesn't...
What are we doing on the side of Howard? Oh my god. Heartbreaking.
Ballin is actually starting to push into this garage here. Backs up just a little bit. We're fighting fair Valorant now. Flash is going to come out. But Ballin able to get
closing
one,
it
able to
out.
get through the flash to keep his team in this match.
And I mean, if we're Howard, right, and we're looking at our Omen, our Jets scrambling up C-Long, right, like running like a dog with their tail between their legs, hauling ass to get on a site. And our Omen basically just tries to, you know, dunk on both players, and it just doesn't work out.
But it is just enough of a kamikaze for Ballin to be able to get the plant down and reposition, right? It's just as much time as they needed, and they were kind of banking on Ballin to make that heroic double kill there, and he does. So, can you say anything about that? Okay, yeah, Jason Lee, go. You go do your thing.
And instant deep coming out as well. Kenny Cosmic shutting down the push, but the judge, Jason Lee going nuclear.
But now fighting a 2v4 here. Rutgers, maybe the Jason Lee strats have kind of stopped working. Howard kind of knows that they're coming. that
Last
Viper
player
Wall is going
standing.
to cover them, and now Beast to Hype on his own to end out the map. Walks straight through, able to get one on Ballin though. Now stuck in the Viper, not stuck in the Viper ult. DK hasn't hit that hard, able to get
Finds
two.
two.
Now it's completely winnable. Gets flashed though. Against the wall, not able to get out, and chooses to keep taking the fight.
And I mean, a little bit of body shotting coming out as well. But I mean, on this side of Rutgers, we have nothing to fear, right? I mean, not to mention that while the judge only from Jason Lee is a bit troll, you have to imagine the amount of ego that Rutgers is saving in the long run by only ever buying a judge.
I mean, look at Prop 2 Hype's ego. Specifically, look at Prop 2 Hype's ego. It looks fantastic. 4.4K before buy. You're probably going down to like 1K, something like that. Oh, never mind. I did my
I mean,
math wrong.
we have 5K on the side of Beast 2 Hype as well. So I mean, that one's gonna go at the 1K, and we'll just say that that's what you were referring
Oh, there's
to.
the op.
Never mind, he bought it
right?
up. I was wrong as well.
I'm running away.
And I mean, we
Yeah.
challenged the same thing. I've been watching the same 2 rounds at replay for the last half. It's a little bit mind baffling, but I mean, going into this Prof 2 Hype, very aggressive angles.
I genuinely have no clue what's happening here. Kenny Cosmic able to take out Prof 2 Hype, and Howard University starting to make a little bit more of their mark here, fighting a 5v3, and almost definitely a little bit frustrated with Jason right now, going, all right, you have to take this a little more seriously. That alarm bot set for Jason does find almost on the flank here.
But I mean, also seeing the switch being flipped on the side of Howard, right? We're basically sitting in spawn the entire like first 30 seconds, and it's working. We're finding these
You're
picks.
waiting for Jason. You're playing
Exactly. We
anti-Jason.
figured out that Rutgers is very aggressive.
Oh, but a beautiful pick from Almost. Gets traded out, though.
Almost went nuclear. I mean, it could have had
Almost went nuclear.
a dominant season, like Shaq and Kobe domination 2000.
Right. But now Boga's starting to push up the short here, holding the Guardian here. So this is going to be a little bit risky, a little harder, making those shots. It looks like we're getting 2 and 2.
Spike down
Perfect,
A.
beautiful shots here. Now Kenny Cosmic is finally on the back foot.
30 seconds left.
I mean, if you're Rutgers, you know he has to be short. There's no other place to do it.
Do it.
And
Boga with
Boga,
Defenders
such beautiful play there. Able to get those 3 beautiful headshots. And that, what a weird map.
I mean, going into Haven especially, right, where we think, you know, the way of playing the map has been so rehearsed, so practiced, reinforced, whatever you want to call it, just to come out and completely shatter expectations. And I wouldn't even say in the way we intend to, right? We come out here, we expect to perform, and we surprise people by performing better. This was just a surprise because it almost made no sense.
Yeah, my brain is discombobulated right now. I don't know that much about Valorant, but the few things I did know have been completely exploded.
Absolutely.
I have
mean,
no clue.
and I mean, me myself, I've played Haven a bajillion times, and I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that much impact from a Sova judge. I mean, going into Split as well, being the next map, I'm really interested to see. We're seeing Rutgers on attack as well, I'm pretty sure. I have to wonder, are we seeing that judge again?
I'm really excited to see it, and you should be too. Make sure to stay tuned because we're going on a 5-minute break, letting the teams collect themselves, letting Jason Lee take another Monster Energy drink straight to the face. But see you in a second. Welcome back, Bucky fans, to Valorant Beltway Battles. We just saw the most bamboozling round map one we've ever seen.
I mean,
From
yeah,
Rutgers versus Howard University. I mean,
definitely. I didn't expect to buy front row seats to a little bit silly of a game of Valorant. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a bit
it was like a
questionable.
really
I mean,
awesome circus.
yeah,
I-
absolutely. I mean, like, and the main course was the judge. I think if anything needs to be nerfed more, it would be the judge. If
Oh,
Riot ever
100%,
has any
yeah.
questions, send them that VOD.
No gun should be able to one shot in this game. That's too broken.
Absolutely. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the op too, but I like the op. Don't take away my op.
Exactly. Like,
yeah,
if I
exactly.
like it, it shouldn't be nerfed at all. I don't like the judge, so it should be nerfed to the ground. But
Get rid of that
looks like
thing.
we're coming into map here.
And there's
No, what? What?
all right.
Dude, who is this team?
The Yoru pick, pretty uncommon. I'd say that's definitely not a normal pick that we've seen.
Pretty uncommon is an understatement.
Pretty uncommon is definitely an understatement. But I mean, you also have to wonder, there's definitely got to be some confidence to run Yoru. I mean, the epitome of God complex as a character, right? But your entry has to be pretty terrible going into this, right? Surely, unless we're running like quadruple fakes into, mid fights to A or B splits. I mean, I don't see this getting us onto site, especially with we have deadlock and we're running double sentinel. We have
a key thing here. I feel Rutgers is subbed in Fruta, who, if you don't know Fruta, Fruta was very, very present at the last Beltway Battles Grand Finals. That dude may be one of the most aggressive sentinels I've ever seen. So now we're putting Prof,
Select your
Jason
agent.
Lee, and Fruta on a team. I don't think they have a concept of the S button.
I definitely think we're just seeing our W key taped down. I mean, the one thing that I'm really concerned about here is while Rutgers has been putting up a very dominant performance in individual plays as well as just being able to find those picks, Howard actually does have an opportunity here, right? I mean, yeah, definitely being good players can take you far, but making good decisions can as well. And with no info, no flashes on an attacking team running double sentinel, you have to wonder. I mean, we have Yoru, of course, but there is no world in which Howard doesn't shut these plays down, I'd like to think. I think we have a lot of potential going into this for Howard to flip the switch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But this is such like it's such like a bad manners composition that even if you win this map, there's a little thing in the back of your head that says, "Oh, we only won this because X and Y, but because they did this and that." And like, it's scary. It's something you need to keep out of your head. It feels like something that might get in Howard's head, even if they win or lose. If they lose, it's, "Oh, we lost to this joke comp that sucks." If they win, it's, "Oh, our only wins against a joke comp. How are we going to go into the third map?" Right? And like, I'm not defending Rutgers' choice of characters here, but it's definitely like there's definitely some weird aspect of like mental manipulation here. Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely disconnected.
I mean, especially after seeing that comp, I feel like I'd run for the hills as well.
Are we not on?
A little bit of a questionable decision. I mean, the Yoru pick, right? Going back into this, will we see the exact same comp? I'm sure we'd see some kind of punishment or something if we switched to comp after going into the load screen. So I'm sure we'll see the exact same comps on both ends. But
There is a mind game there of like showing your opponents a horrendous comp
and then
like, "Never
knowing
mind."
what you're getting into.
Yeah,
I mean, I gotta be honest. In no world should Rutgers win this, just because Split being such a defender-sided map as well. Howard has the ability to set that tempo, and Rutgers running an off-meta kind of horrible attack comp when we think about it. Double Senti with kind of the worst duelist for solo duelist entry, especially on a map like Split where we need to be able to break out into the site. We have no initiator, no info. I really feel like Howard should be able to pull through. And I mean, going into this as Howard, we're going against the defending champs. I mean, there's got to be some kind of mental, we got to have some strong mental fortitude or we're losing this.
I feel like Rutgers is so aware of that though. They're so aware of the fact that they are coming into this with the hard advantage, and that they're able to abuse that.
I mean, being up, this is series point, right? We have single elimination. We have, map advantage pretty much going into this as Rutgers. We're up 1-0. There's a lot of pressure riding on the side of Howard. And you got to think, right, if you're Howard's coach, you really need to be able to bounce back and come at this game strong, right? We can't be held back by last map. We can't be held back nervous, afraid. Obviously, there's going to be more judges. We already know that. But
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know. There's a lot of pressure riding on Howard, and I really don't want to see them crumble because of it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I am very curious to see if Rutgers does stay on this comp here, right? Because what if there's a slim chance in my head that Rutgers pulled out the weird Phoenix last time and it worked? What if this is just even weirder and they've actually scripted this and they've actually tested this?
And I mean, even then, right? Like Paper X, I've referenced them. I don't know how many times. I'm a personal fan. They've basically shown that if you are good enough as something, some comp, some character that you really, really enjoy. For example, we've seen them run crazy comps time and time again.
Rex Yoru is the classic
Exactly.
one, right?
Exactly. Like pulling this out, I mean, there is the potential for Rutgers to not be running a troll comp. I mean, we've seen an off-meta comp on Haven. We're seeing another one on Split. This could be an actual legitimate comp, which is arguably even scarier.
Right, yeah. And again, this goes back into that mental game that I keep harping on. Now you're Howard. You're Howard University. You're going, so is this real? And that's hanging the back of your head during your fights, during the game, right? Is this real? Is there a strategy? Is there something we should be scared of that we don't understand?
It's either hitting you mid-game or it's hitting you before game, especially, right? Because back to the mental game aspect, and even referencing what I said, if this is their legitimate comp,
right?
We've never played against something like this. I mean, like,
right.
I can't remember a time that I've ever played against double Senti Yoru with no initiator on Split of all maps. So I mean, I wouldn't know the first thing about how to go into this with some kind of plan to counter, right? Which Howard should be using this time to at least kind of get an idea in their heads, right? If we're expecting Rutgers to go back into this playing the exact same comp, we need to be using this time to think, well, how the hell am I going to counter a Yoru running it down, or a Cypher running it down, or Deadlock, or play against double Senti? And I mean, Deadlock, while not being, the strongest Sentinel, is a really good secondary Sentinel. I mean, especially denying retake as well.
And I mean, the big thing that I really like about Deadlock here is it's going to be really funny for me to look at a Cocoon and see it trap players. And that's kind of all that matters to me.
And I mean, you just definitely need to get a clip out of context and just, edit some screaming over that. And just, that's definitely what Howard's going to be experiencing.
Yeah, perfect. Definitely. But I mean, looking at, it is a little long of a wait time here. So I am wondering, we're going to, yeah. I'm wondering how this is going to turn out, but it looks like we've been called to go to a quick break right now. Not exactly sure what's happening, but I mean, we'll catch you again. Make sure to stay tuned. Maybe you'll see Deadlock Cypher on your screen.
Absolutely. Catch you later.
Welcome back to Valorant Beltway Battles. We just finished our very short break. It looks like Howard University was actually one of the players that was disconnected. If you just joined the stream or you just caught up, Howard was running a fairly standard composition, right, going into this. But Rutgers committed to this deadlock and the Yoru specifically, double Sentinel Yoru. This is looking really strange coming in this. It looks like Rutgers might be coming back to the same comp. They're hovering similar characters, but swapping over
To the Gecko,
to the
which is a
Gecko
little bit
here.
questionable, might be a little bit frowned upon, especially considering that we had already started loading in. And I mean, both teams had kind of seen the comps originally. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be. I feel like there will be some choice words going into this on the side of Howard, especially seeing the swap. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, we were going to this expecting no initiator, and now we have an initiator.
Yeah.
So,
The
you know, a
majority
little
of this
bit
comp
questionable.
still is very strange. I don't think a single one of these characters, besides actually never mind. You see an okay amount of Gecko and an okay amount of Astra, but none of these are the ideal pick here. Like going to split without Viper feels so weird to me.
I mean, going into split with Gecko as well, right? Like I've seen Gecko on Lotus. Gecko
Well,
on
yeah,
Lotus
'cause
works.
The ceilings.
Absolutely. But I mean,
Choose
the
your agent.
Yoru questionable. Gonna be really bad entry. The deadlock questionable. If it was solo deadlock, it'd be really hard to hold down a site. But I mean, we're running double Senti. I'm imagining we're just putting one on each site on defense. But you know, I'm gonna be a little bit questionable on the side of Howard when they see this switch up. I don't even remember what the last. I don't remember what the character was in place of Gecko last time, but I'm sure there's going to be some choice words. They're going to be a little bit confused by the switch up. I feel like we might hear something about it, but we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, coming into this, what does this comp do? I cannot wrap my head around like what's the goal of this comp? Because usually when you see a strange comp, it's going for like one little combo, right? You're trying to like,
Yeah.
especially the ones with the breach. You're trying to use breach and another ability or a wall bank setup you have, breach and something strange you have to be able to do something cool. I don't see the synergy here. Maybe I'm not understanding it. Maybe we're not seeing it. But I don't see what does Deadlock do here. What
gonna-
does she get out of this, right?
I'm going to be honest. I don't, you know, and one of the things that I really like is seeing those util combinations, those util pairings, things that pair up well with each other. And looking at this, right, we have a Yor, we have an Astra, we have two Sentinels, and we have a Gecko. And we don't have good flashes going into this, right? And
Right.
terrible flashes in the grand scheme of things. If we're playing against Gecko, we just shoot Dizzy. I mean, that's really the end of it. We don't have like a util pairing. Like, yeah, Astra's a pretty safe pick on split. I've seen it a bajillion times. But solo controller double Senti, I mean, we're really, I'm banking on us just doing a lot of 5-man site hits. That's all I really see us doing here. I don't think if we lurk, we lose in the long run. We lose a fair 5v5 on-site fight purely to util.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have any util to really force people out. Minus, I guess Gecko Molly, I guess Astra Suck if you want to be technical. But I mean, on the side of Howard, we have Raise Nades, Satchels, Skydog, Flashes, Mollies. Like,
And especially
we have a solid team comp.
I don't mean to cut you off here, but especially on the side of Howard, another Howard player has crashed.
Another one.
Another one. Yeah. So
Well,
I don't really know what's going on. This is such a strange series. Like
this is a very interesting series of events, to put it simply. And now, I mean, you have to wonder: does Rutgers come out and switch it again? Do we see the? Oh, we might not have seen the crash. I think we did. I saw us load in for a second there. I'm assuming we definitely saw a DC, but we'll see how it goes. I'm assuming we're running a little tech pause real quick.
yeah, I'm looking over at our stream text just trying to figure out like what's going on here. I'm not really sure what's happening with this set. I mean, they're getting us more screen time, which is awesome. But
Absolutely, striking my little pose here. You know,
yeah, exactly.
little modeling agency. But I mean, you also have to wonder, maybe this is what Howard needs as well, right? In the grand scheme of things, we double back to the mental game. Maybe, you know, this is all some elaborate plot to be able to buy his time.
Yeah, definitely getting a little more time to get calm and collected, especially a little more time to figure out like we the two of us here are trying to figure out what's going on. They have a whole team on their back and their coach.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I really hope they're using this time, efficiently. I mean, I'd rather them, take this extra time and talk to their coach and, just get some ideas brewing in their heads than, sit there in silence or just be like stressing out. You know what I mean? Map point, or not map point, sorry. Series point, we are up 1-0 on the side of Rutgers. And I mean, it's
Right.
single elimination. We're playing against the defending champs. It's scary. It's definitely scary,
But
scary on the side
the
of Howard.
alternate perspective here is, what is there to lose, right? We're playing against the defending champs. We're seeded to lose this, right? So we might as well just try our best and put our all into it. And I mean, if we lose to a comp like this, it's very easy to basically say they knew something we didn't, right? And maybe they do know something that Howard doesn't. Maybe Rutgers knows something that we don't here, right? And like it's scary going into it. But let's say this was Rutgers being the second seed and the third seed. This is so much more worse for the third seed.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, one thing I really want to see is just like you brought up, right? We have nothing to lose. So I want them to go into this, and something Rutgers definitely isn't going to expect is just keeping that composure, not being afraid to just fight, right? And in every team scenario, right, with this util, we win every single time if we're using our util properly. The raise nade, extremely potent, extremely potent. I mean, if we're pairing this up with mollies, with dogs, with flashes, I mean, we have a really strong comp on the side of Howard. While very safe, absolutely, but a very strong comp, a practiced comp. I mean, in no world, right? If we're keeping our heads on our shoulders and we're using our util, there's no world where we lose this. Our map space is just going to be better, unless we're losing our 1v1s and we're just getting out-aimed. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's not really something that we can VOD review. That's kind of something we have to fix on our own.
Right. Counterpoint. Yoru teleports behind you.
I mean, we saw what happened when Howard tried to TP behind with the Omen, with the Judge.
True.
So, I mean, we could
Yeah.
see some Yoru, like, getting shut down action. Or we could see some, 10s versus Asuna, 100 Thieves, Yoru type stuff. And just meta breaking Yoru gameplay.
I mean, I'm so curious. I'm so curious to see how this turns out. But it looks like we're already in game now. Finally, things have launched, and Rutgers on actually, I'm putting it down. Able to get a few picks early, and maybe this is what this comp is designed to do, or maybe that's just what Rutgers wants to do. They're
The Cypher
substituting.
looked quick counter Omen.
Yeah, they're substituting their lack of aggressive utility by just hitting the W key,
Spike
right?
planted.
I mean, this is kind of what we expected going into this. They missed me shutting down the Astra. And I mean, bomb down, the Deadlock Wall, and the Razor. There's a lot of chip damage on the board right now.
Yeah, but now Howard University able to restabilize Prof. Prof is gonna try to find this fighter, but the timing!
timing!
Going through the smoke, he's still who he's there! Beachhead gets the knife on Perry,
One enemy
but they
remaining.
miss me, able to find Prof here. And now
Last
it's just
player
Beast Hype's
standing.
responsibility. Able to get the pick on getting Cosmic, who's trying to defuse now, and they miss me. Down on 2 health and trying to get past just to get the bump. He's no clue who's there, but Beast able to escape right into the smoke. He's so scared of using this bomb here, but the knife able to, they miss me, getting a quick 4K to finish this out. They seem fine from the bomb here. That was such a strange round. I mean, in a strange series. This is
so
expected, but
perplexed watching this back, right? So like if we're Howard's Rays, right? This nade could have gone nuclear. We could have killed all 3 with it. I mean, unlucky.
Jason Lee's by.
I mean, I mean, we saw this going into it, right? We expected more judges, but the no shield judge. I mean, on the side of Rutgers as well, you kind of just have to let them have it, right?
I mean, look
They,
at Howard,
they have
though.
no
Howard,
fear.
Howard's buying two marshals here. There are no shields on the side Rutgers. Marshall one shots on body here.
And I mean, we've seen the way that Jason Lee plays, especially. It looks like we're seeing an early judge fight mid. I'm very excited to see how this could be round of fighting as well.
Jason Lee does, and actually just off the judge here, able to get past the smoke. And now Naviad recognizing that there's no shields there, kind of standing up, I'm able to pick up Ballin, and Jason Lee able to grab Naviad, but that judge, it's doing work for Howard instead. They miss me, able to get out of that precarious situation. And now Rutgers seems super split. Fruta sneaks his way, sneaky onto A
We
site.
have full A site control as well.
And now Prof gets such an easy way back onto A site. They don't have vision over heaven here, but now they do. And how is Howard going to take this back, Lumi?
And I mean, going into this, right? we have our buy, hitting a little bit of a gritty, you know,
Right.
foreign intimidation tactics as well. I mean, going into this, we had our buy round, and I thought They Miss Me was going to go nuclear in mid, right? Getting the double TP behind and not quite able to close out the picks. I mean, we have man advantage and gun advantage, and we lose it in a second. I mean, Fairy solo in heaven needs to find some kind of opening pick for there to be any chance.
Yeah, perfect pickings for Professor Lee here, as we see, teacher of the judge. But, ooh.
Oh no.
Perfect time to run past, but They Miss Me sneaks up. He's gonna get hit by the sniper
Last
trip.
player standing.
And a possible knife coming out. Just needs to stall.
Oh, he wants to die. He wants it. No,
Player
it's, it's killed the
I
process.
mean, we're seeing a repeat of last round as well.
Very
Fairy closing it out. I'm so lost going into this, honestly. Rutgers able to close out and get the thrifty. But I mean, I feel like there was way more damage done to mentals than there were to eco that round, especially.
Oh, 100%.
That's almost 2 knives. Almost back to back. If you're on
I-
the side of Howard, it's just gotta be infuriating.
My favorite thing is, so we casted a match together yesterday, and we did really well at not talking over each other, but we're yelling over each other right now because we're both just so perplexed as to what's happening. We both are just reacting viscerally.
It's just there's no room for me to pause and be like, let me think about this in a constructive way, right? You know, let me wait my 5 seconds and then I'll just come back and say something about it.
Double smoke challenge.
And we're seeing the caterpillar and it works. I'm actually watching server level plays with a fake Yoru decoy.
This is Destiny. The amount of shopping we're seeing, this is Destiny 2. Every this round has been with the judge or shorter until that one from Fruta.
This definitely has been pre-nerf Mindbenders or pre-nerf Fellwinter's Lie with the way this has been running the game.
100%. I mean,
They Miss Me. Opportunity to go nuclear as well. And I mean, RKJ sitting in spawn. We've seen this last time
ooh,
with a
but
different
Destiny-
team. And Boca closing it out. I mean,
This is it's
Well
such a
played.
show of dominance from Rutgers too right now. Like yeah, it's 1-2, but in the mental, it has to be like 15 to 5. Like it
absolutely.
it feels devastating. The wins that Howard is getting are like close ones where they're all playing well, and the wins that Rutgers are getting is them slobbering all over their keyboards and winning.
It honestly feels like if this was a mental game, it would be more like we're on match point for the side of Rutgers currently. But I mean, I know, like you said, the score only says 1-2 going into this. I mean, mental game. We're seeing another judge fight in mid. And then the death to the KG turret to finish it off. And
But the wall's able to protect him, keep him safe from the cocoon. But Jason Lee able to get that rare cocoon kill. I- Ballin is stuck
I'm
on
not
A.
too sure.
One enemy remaining.
Prof able to just find Ballin, and once again, it's down to the KJ to find a spot. Little Wingman, our best friend here, is gonna plant the spike, and now Fairy has to be able to make their mark, but Boga takes Fairy out. I mean, oh, getting a little aggressive with it. I mean,
Little Demon 1 cosplay over here.
dude, Jason Lee is a menace. I cannot wait. If I want
I
Rutgers
can't
to make the Valorant playoffs so bad, because I am physically here in Northern Virginia at #GamingArena. I want to meet this man. I want to pick his brain. Like, what is going through your head?
I gotta see it again, right? We don't see him run at mid for probably the 4th time in a row, right? I mean, I've seen it
that last
every
game,
round.
and we said the last match.
And then it happened again. So I mean, they're using a lot more util for it, but does it really matter? Oh, balling.
Oh, is it enough?
Monster on the loose.
Balling is balling.
They
The
missed
timing
me.
on the get goal.
They must be stuck in the smoke here. Something might happen. B-Snipe jumps out. They must be able to catch it, and does see the Yoru come through. The Yoru getting some crucial information. The question is if the Yoru chooses the demask here. Boga able to find 2 in heaven. And the Yoru ends up getting picked. I wouldn't have unmasked myself there. I'm not Dream, but Fruta.
I'm not
Boga.
Last player standing.
And there's no judge pick there, unfortunately. I'm not able to pull off the Jason Lee cosplay.
Spike planted.
Dude, I mean, this is just such a great play from Boca here. Jason Lee, this is the first round where Jason Lee hasn't made a tremendously good play, but Boga able to hold down this heaven, get the valuable picks that Rutgers needs in that fight, and Rutgers is 4-1 right now, right? And it's looking really dominant. I will say though, this is where in the last map that Howard started to claw back a little bit. Because Rutgers got a little too overzealous. And I mean, we saw Jason Lee die early. This might be that point where Jason Lee gets a little too overzealous, starts losing that footing, and Howard may be able to claw back from this devastation.
Just take a look at the minimap real quick for me, and I want to inform you, nothing will change. There is no fear out of the side of Jason Lee. This is an absolute Chad of a person, running it down every single round, unafraid. It does not change no matter what.
You want to fight it?
And now Prof just, dumping out Yuto as Yoru does that. Astro Ball is going to buy them so much space, but the Seekers are hunting them down. Let's hope that this anchor out on A side is able to get one. Fairy able to isolate the bomb here, and now Rutgers fighting a precarious 2v3. They have no way to get to the bomb unless they wipe out the team. These two have stuck in a corner with an operator. That's not the situation you want to be in. And Ballin starting to wrap around a Boga here. Fairy able to get Kenny Cosmic's side, flashes out, and Howard grabs that round they need. And honestly, I can't even say that was off of the overzealousness of Jason entirely there, because Howard did such a good job shutting down that Yoru and isolating the spike, and they were able to just pick off those 1v1s one by one and made sure that Rutgers wasn't able to get the footing that they need. But look, still, Howard still needs to buy light here.
I mean, looking especially back to the end of last round, right? We saw the Gecko basically just try to RKO from the top rope around the corner and get shut down immediately. It just looks like Rutgers is kind of just playing Swing or Be Swung Simulator, and I do not blame them. Falling with the op. I mean, it almost doesn't kill. It doesn't. Viper finds the pick in place of Raze.
I know
we're so like mesmerized by Jason Lee. Even when Jason Lee doesn't get a kill, we're like, oh my god, look at this, right? But Neviaj able to pick out 3 here. Finally gets traded out by Boga, and now Rutgers fighting a 2v3. Doesn't know that They Miss Me is sitting down there in hell. Get the pick, and now it's just up to Fruta. Kenny Cosmic able to get the pick here. Howard University looking close to evening this map out.
I mean, honestly, I've been baffled the entire time this half. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's just in my brain. It's been such a, I guess, it's been confusing. It has been a fun fest of a game. I mean, we've seen Jason Lee every single round going back to the same position, even now. I mean, one of these rounds, it could be this one where they decide not to fight mid. Jason Lee could find a very big lurk purely off of just the repetition.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Howard here, right, you don't think Jason's going to do it again. But you also know, okay, now you know that Jason's doing it again. That's on Jason.
And I mean, if you're Rutgers coach, right, honestly, I can't imagine there is a coach.
Now. You've lost your Deadlock, who is a duelist here, and you've already lost Yoru. And so now, how does Rutgers get into any site right now?
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter, right? We've seen how Rutgers has played the game. They don't even need that duelist, because I mean, the Yoru hasn't really been fighting to make or take that space. They really, all they have to do to play duelist here, all of them. I mean, they've chosen pretty much the most aggressive in their class of any of the characters.
Ooh,
they could just hold W.
Pick a beast trap, and that catapult shot you were talking about, Boga gets the perfect take on They Miss Me. Able to pick up the defender sitting in the corner, but Neviaj able to finally pick Fruta 2 Hype, trading out Neviaj here, and now Fruta 2 Hype, we see him back in this precarious 1v3 situation, able to get the bomb down, but now has to play defense against these 3 very great players sitting in heaven. And course, also with the operator, the nade comes down, trying to clear him out. Fruta 2 Hype able to pick up another devastating kill here, a 3rd one, and now just a 1v1. The ball is not able to win the off 1v1, but
Balling is balling once again.
Yeah, but Fruta was really close to taking that there. Howard University evening out this set now. This might not go like last map. Howard might be able to keep this momentum that they really need.
You know, at this point, I'm convinced that Jason Lee might actually not be a player. Jason Lee might actually be the coach of Rutgers University with the plays they are coming up with. He seemed too good, too practiced, too much going on in the brain box here.
I mean, based on only using the judge, it could be using the hands on one computer to spectate the team and help coach the team, and using the feet to actually play the game, right?
mean, with the movement, I mean, we've seen some very stiff movement. I mean, like, familiar with the light skin aim trend myself, back when that was a popular thing. This looks exactly like that.
But now Jason Lee, all this read doesn't matter. This read doesn't matter because Jason Lee now pulling out the luck, catches Neviage, and it looks like once again somebody is going to die to this precarious cocoon. Walls out the rotate here. And Jason Lee looks fantastic, but they miss me pushing up, not able to find all the value they wanted, able to get one pick here. But
honestly, very questionable plays. Kenny finding 3 somehow. Very aggressive picks out of Kenny. This retake looks possible. 2v1. They're not pushing for bomb.
they really aren't. That Killjoy ult is going to
Last
lock
player standing.
Fruta out of this, but Fruta once again not able to find the clutch that he really wants.
I mean,
And-
but you also have to wonder, right? On the side of Howard, deciding to, instead of push for bomb, double up and instead, I guess KJ ult when, to be fair, I don't really.
Yeah, I mean, it's so strange here because I mean, we saw Jason Lee actually pull off some pretty non-rush down mid plays there, and it didn't seem to pan out all that well. I'm wondering if maybe Rutgers is hiding what they truly have and, you know, letting Howard get a bit before coming out, or maybe Howard just figured them out. And by figure them out, I mean use a judge of their own. But
It could be, and I mean, I've seen it before as well. It could be Rutgers is saving their actual team comps. You know, they're sandbagging their strats, their actual team comps for later down in Beltway battles when they face some more higher rated seeded teams that, you know, will give them a bit more.
he got died there.
I know
I'm
exactly
convinced
where.
that this has to be what's going on here, and if it's not, I mean, I'll just pay it as a compliment that they're, you know,
They're able to
hiding.
do so much with so little.
Exactly, yeah. I'm imagining this has to be a sandbag comp. This is not something you actually run, but yet they are able to find the picks on it enough.
Okay,
Who
he's
aren't
able to make
using
it
it.
out in sight though, and Wingman and Dizzy are going to slow down Howard University. Beast Trap able to find the pick that they want, and now they're back on the forward foot now.
One enemy
Boga
remaining.
peeking back into CT here and able to find the pick that he wants, and what a beautiful, beautiful play from Boga here. And note this, Rutgers' main team is alive, and Jason is dead.
I'm convinced that Jason Lee actually has all of the first bloods on the side of Rutgers. I'm convinced that on both maps, with the way that they played Sova and the way that they're playing Deadlock, they have every single first blood that is possible to get.
I am so unbelievably curious. I want to know so bad what's going through Jason Lee's mind right now, right? Is it like 15,000 IQ or is it 1? Because it could be either.
We're definitely looking more on the end of just TV static, is what I say.
Yeah, it might be.
That's definitely my first bet, is that there has to be just either TV static or just a whole lot of white noise.
I mean, at this point, though, you are going, if you're Rutgers University, you're starting to go into these fights just fighting a 4v5, which is not fantastic, but Boga able to find the picks they need, finally evening this out to be a 3v3 now, but they miss me so deep in B. Prof type able to find the pick that does matter there. And
Honestly, the confusing thing as well is that if you were able to look at each of these players without knowing what each they're on, I honestly, you could just pick somebody at random and show them the VOD of this game, and you'd be able to say that either one of them is the duelist. Anybody on Rutgers right now, if you didn't know what character they were on, could have been the duelist. By the way that they've been playing this game, it has just been a bunch of swing or get swung. And I mean, we've seen it again. They close out the round.
Last round
It
in the
is
half.
literally just the swinging simulator.
yeah, Boga's also, I mean, on top of this, Jason Lee, of course, doing Jason Lee stuff as we established throughout this entire series. Boga's been making some very, very good swings here, taking these 1v1s that are a little bit risky, but hasn't lost the gunfight in so long.
And I mean, I guess we can chalk that up to confidence, but I mean, looking at the stat board, right? Jason Lee, more deaths than kills, but still finding these picks. What are they going to do going into this next round? I wonder. It's possible.
It's
Jason really
It's
needs some
getting to a
adult
point now
supervision
where
here.
I genuinely don't know what the thought process is. Because you're just throwing away a player, basically.
Jason
It's-
definitely, it's questionable.
Like, yeah, you're getting a little bit of damage, but when Boga's hitting headshots like that, does damage even matter?
That's fair. I mean, Boga's been on one tap city and instant refrags out of both. Unfortunately, couldn't close it out with the shorty. I mean, yeah, I'm starting to wonder on the side of Rutgers. They banked off of some early picks. Boga able to basically be a man of everything, finding picks on the off as well as one taps with his Vandal.
Yeah, now
Last
Boga's
player
evening this
standing.
out.
One
Fruta
enemy
would finally
remaining.
miss me, and Nevyat immediately trading Fruta out. But now, precarious 1v1. Nevyat commits to this this Viper ult, and Boga isn't gonna be able to do anything with this operator. Boga picks up the beautiful, beautiful judge we've been seeing all game, and as soon as Nevyat peeks his head, there it is.
I mean, Jason Lee once again, right? They figured out the counter. They have these Viper mollies,
Switching sides.
basically denying, and we saw it. We saw it for a second there. Jason Lee stalled, couldn't push up all the way, and immediately evaporated. I mean, the shorty light shield on the deadlock, not surprising considering the player that we've seen in this game.
How does this work on defense though? Like, where do you go? You push down mid, and it feels significantly harder for you to be able to get down as far as you can, especially with the shorty. Like, I feel like I'm thinking about this way too critically. And keep in mind, I am silver. I peaked silver too, and I'm thinking about this way too critically.
I definitely think that, at least on defense, I mean, obviously, since it is more defender-sided, it's defender-sided in the fact that we're able to control space a lot easier. And I mean, we see the way that we have been posted up. We're running solo A pretty much, and Howard kind of having a repeat of Haven. We know that Rutgers has been really extremely aggressive.
Howard
on
is waiting
defense.
for Jason. Specifically, they are waiting for Jason. Oh my god, Fluff tries to get the fake. And it might work. It might work. Ballin does seem to think that it's real for a second, backs up away. Oh, wait, no. No, he doesn't.
Doesn't want to shoot to give off their location, and I mean, we have full mid control.
Yeah, we have full mid control from Rutgers here. And now Howard grouping together for a slow push out. But their worst nightmare, Jason Lee, is on the high ropes. And he's got a metal chair in his hands.
Definitely, it's the equivalent of trying to have a 5-year-old box silverback gorilla. We're not gonna see anything. If we're Jason, we're running it down. I mean, what do you want to happen?
There's your worst
I guess you
nightmare,
just
Jason.
killed him.
Spike down A.
But Boga, we keep talking about this. Boga has this pinpoint precision. 3
seconds
headshots,
left.
so beautiful, but goes
One
through the
enemy
smoke and fight. They
remaining.
miss me, gets the 4th and gets traded out, but that's all the value that needs easier. Now you just need these guys to finish this out. Not able to, and now stuck in a 1v2. Nevyat gets caught on the ropes here and probably finishes out. But honestly, we kept talking about Jason Lee in the first map. It might be Boga's turn now. We saw those beautiful, beautiful things, 22 and 7.
I mean, Boga especially, right? Where Jason Lee picks up the slack on the aggressiveness and the ability to win, not because of smart plays, but because of being, I guess you could say, not good plays, but a good player, even though that's a little bit of a reach with the judge here. Boga definitely able to pick up the slack, right? Going into these rounds, you're a 4v5, you're looking for these advantageous picks. Boga's just him.
I'm wondering if this is like a good cop, bad cop thing, where Jason Lee's now going in to soften him up, make him feel a little good about getting a kill, and then Boga comes in right behind Jason Lee. But they just be able to find the pick with the shorty. Boga finds 2
Spike down
once
B.
again. All headshots. I have not seen this dude get a kill without a headshot once.
I mean, you also got to be careful if you're Howard as well. Howard has picked up a Vandal
Last
and a
player
Guardian.
standing.
I thought it was gonna
And
work.
yet another Yoru decoy. I mean, if we look up just slightly, I think it showed that we were looking down.
Yeah.
Our Yoru cosplay, not the best, but could still be big on the side of Rutgers as well. He might funnel back into B site.
Yeah, it is just up to Rutgers' Cypher here. Which it looks like this is the first time we see Rutgers Cyphers just alone without Boga. So, I mean, if there's something to show here, there is something now. Fruta, as we know, really good at securing these kills, but still has no clue.
opposite side of the util as well. We're not able to play off of anything.
30 seconds
So they
left.
kind of have to face check B site here. But being able to walk up on these trips, they're going to give themselves away sooner or later.
But now this
Cage
information's been announced, and Fuda is going to start rotating over. It depends on if Ballin and Barry are able to set up in the right spot to be able to capitalize off of this advantage they have. But
Cage triggered.
Fuda starting to come in. He does have his util set up, and it isn't super apparent as to where he is. So he's gonna try to find a way into the site, peeking slowly.
Very good angle clearing here as well. Good sneak
Yeah,
up.
Ballin is sneaking up on him, and now he's able to isolate this 1v1 with Fairy, but not anymore. Fairy able to find the kill. Howard University putting one on the map once again after, an onslaught.
I mean, just a little. I mean, you gotta wonder, right? On the side of Rutgers, if Fuda had been just a little bit more patient, right? Hadn't decided to start running,
Should I
I
play
guess,
some
quite as
styles in-
early as they did. A lot of potential to find both picks. I mean, you wait just a little bit more. I'm sure you find both of them there.
I'm very curious as to see what they're gonna keep doing with Jason Lee here, because it says to me that it still isn't still working all too well, but at the same time, Jason Lee is actually holding back now. Jason Lee isn't in the front, isn't the first death, and now we're at a 3v4. Boga has no clue. This Viper is here. The Viper's not looking at the right direction. Neviage gets sniped out by Boga's Ares. The plane is coming down from Howard, though, and they miss me. Able to get to the perfect
enemy
spot to
remaining.
take care of Boga. Able to get Fall on the way out, but Jason not able to find the value that he needs, and Howard might be clawing their way back from this. 7 to 8. It's a lot closer than we're seeing here.
I mean, Jason as well, going into last round, forcing a Judge no shield as well. A little bit questionable. Does find some chip damage on They Miss Me with the Classic. Unfortunately, couldn't close it out before they found the second pick. But Howard, I mean, if you're Howard here, you have to be finding this snowball effect, right? We have the Ash roll on the side of Boga. We don't have a lot of value coming out of our Yoru as well. I mean, the confidence needs to be building.
Yeah, but now we're looking at the anti-Yoru side of this. Does actually getting hit by the flash, but Boga, just another valuable pick on They Miss Me. And I mean, you keep seeing They Miss Me, keeps getting those actually really decent picks with the Judge. And so this might be very valuable. Boga does get picked up early again, though. So now we're back to a 4v4.
In a matter of this 4 versus this 4, our Yoru, who originally wasn't doing a lot, wasn't having a lot of impact, finds the pick that they need to. I mean, originally, I thought in the 4v4 battle, Howard's winning it every single round, especially with Boga no longer on board.
Last player
I'm able to find
standing.
two beautiful, beautiful kills here. And now it's all left to Fairy, who is alone on A site without the bomb. And now Howard can just bunch up the bomb, say it's theirs, and they're gonna have to find a way to. They're gonna have to find a way to not lose not lose this round here. My brain says to save.
I mean, watching Jason Lee play is truly the equivalent of a fake Yoru clone 24/7. I mean, like,
30
we
seconds
watch
left.
the movement coming out of Jason Lee. Like, if I mean, we see a lot of fake Yorus as well. Surely Fairy hears this, and I mean, they themselves, I'm pretty sure, shot the fake clone earlier in the round.
Clone doesn't recharge, so they know that that's not real, right?
I think
10
it could
seconds
be
left.
over analysis or later in the round, right? You're stressing out. It's a 1v4, and so
Sorry, buddy.
it might not be the first thing that crosses your mind.
Yeah, there we go. The first timeout actually of the series that we've seen. Howard kind of knows that they're starting each one of these rounds with the man advantage, right? It's just can they convert?
I mean, I definitely want to see. I'm sure. I mean, it's working though. Is the issue? Rutgers basically down every single round, losing their deadlock almost immediately. Howard really needs to find a way to be able to, punish the deadlock and just still be able to play refrags. If we get this man advantage and we consistently do, just playing in pairs, playing our trades. And I mean, if we're trading and we get that 1-to-1 refrag every single time, we're gonna win these rounds. And you have to wonder, right, on the side of Howard, I don't even know what we'd be telling our players at this point.
Kill the guys running at you. I mean, like, I Howard is only down 2 rounds, right? Like, it's so possible to win this. But if you look at like the rounds here, it definitely just looks like Rutgers are getting these longer streaks of round wins, where it is a lot more mentally damaging. And we've seen 4 round wins, and then 4 round wins, and now we've seen another 4 closes out the set.
I definitely want to see. I mean, in order for Howard to come back, we definitely need to see Howard not only just win the round battle, but the mental battle as well, which seems like Howard is losing the mental battle before we even lose to the round wins, right? We're scared to swing. We're kind of just playing individualistic. And I mean, there's Jason Lee again out of nowhere.
Prof is so deep right now, though, and this could mean a lot, but he does have 3 people staring at him. The TP is going to go even deeper into into sewers here, and Fruta gets the first pick that we've seen here.
Oh, but I mean, all that Howard has to do is rotate the A. Look how far our Omen is. Our Omen's basically like...
Prof is waiting for them. Has no clue, but probably able to find 1, able to find 2.
Spike down.
That Omen
A.
is going to gum up heaven, though. And now Fruta is going to have to be able to find it. Maybe
has Omen ult.
Omen ult hasn't been used yet. Yeah, maybe They Miss Me is Jason Lee in disguise.
I mean, honestly, that makes way more sense now. You are bringing up a very good point.
30 seconds left.
Jason Lee could be the toes of the operation, and They Miss Me could be the hands, which is why we're seeing They Miss Me get a little bit more value. Unfortunately,
But I mean,
closed out by Rutgers.
On top of this as well, if you are the player behind Jason Lee and They Miss Me, win or lose, you benefit here, right? So it is kind of a
Absolutely.
perfect plan. You're able to cash out nonetheless. If Howard pulls this back, then They Miss Me is the MVP and does amazing. And if Rutgers wins this, then Jason Lee is talked about forever. So this might be a perfect like hands keyboard, feet keyboard combination that we're seeing. But
I've been definitely pioneering the way, right? I mean, we've seen dual streaming setups. We've seen dual PC setups. I don't think we've quite seen dual competing setups where we have a player on both teams, right? And I mean, with the way that they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised. Look at Jason Lee already barreling down sewers.
Down. they
I mean, I don't think shift walking matters at this point. A little bit more money. Mom sent him with just a little bit more lunch money with school today, affording more than just a Lunchable.
But Kenny Cosmic still able to take it out. Like, that's actually a pretty big investment there. Boga starting to take these 2 fights, able to find both here. And somehow, even through all their transgressions, Rutgers does have a man advantage here.
I mean, Boga, while not being the flashiest, right? Like, we've seen a lot of 3Ks, 4Ks out of Boga, and they haven't been like crazy flick, snappy, flashy 4Ks. They've been extremely consistent, right? No crazy lucky shots. Everything has been calculated and well deserved, honestly.
They're pushing into this Killjoy ult.
Very close.
That was very horrifying. It's just now up to Kenny Cosmic here to fight this 1v2. And yeah, the perfect combination of utility and peak. You know, there's very little way for them to win that when Boga 1 is winning their fights and they're just hitting the W key, right?
I mean, Boga coming out with a really clean spray transfer earlier in the round as well. Going into this next round, 7-11, I might need to get myself a Slurpee with the competition that we're watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, Boga almost on his way to 30 kills. 30 kills in a competitive collegiate set. I mean, that's some pure dominance right there.
And I mean, with the headshot accuracy as well, I can't imagine that Boga's anything under a maybe high 30, low 40 right now. The absolute just headshot machine. Get this kid on a full ride.
I mean, Jason Lee actually using some util setting up here. I'm excited to see whether or not Jason Lee holds the W key here. Doesn't actually seem like it. Blocks off his way in. But Boga already out. Maybe with the Jason Lee cosplay. That is making a little bit of noise, though. Taking with the ball in. Fruta trades Boga out. And now Prof Gets in with the flash.
Spike down mid.
They miss me. Goes straight through. Does end up getting picked here. And now it's a skirmish in mid as Rutgers ends up coming out on top.
This looks like I'm watching For Honor back in 2019 or something like this. It just absolute skirmish in mid, like you said yourself. We're brawling out. Might as well be playing a game of fisticuffs. I mean, how? I don't even know. I don't even know what to say.
Rutgers they're on match point here, but every time they win 4 rounds, they lose 2. So, based on statistical analysis, I think Howard University is going to win this one.
I mean, it's a toss-up though, right? We've seen the win 4, lose 4. We've seen the win 4, lose 2. And now if we're going by statistics, it might be a win 4, lose 1. Right?
Or even if we're going by factors of 2, it might be a win 4, lose 0.
It could be. They could close it out here. Or there's some shining star where Howard brings it back and wins all the rounds needed to go into OT.
So they get caught.
This does not look likely.
Spike down.
The ball
A.
gets caught here. Fruta with the early pick. And now into a close skirmish over A that Razor not able to finish. He takes a lead. Makes his mark. Able to find 1. Able to find 2. Finds 3 with the charge from afar. I mean,
Jason Lee. Jason Lee not finding that dominant of a performance early half with the judge, and then closes it out when the team leads it. Ending off with a knife kill, and I mean, if you're Howard, what do we even say at this point?
I'm so sad to see Howard go like this. Like specifically, like right, they were playing unironically. They were playing so well to set, especially against the top seed and under this much pressure against something this wacky. They were still doing their job well. They were still refragging each other, getting the picks off. But honestly, Boga and Jason Lee just were able to make huge plays those games, right?
I mean, we saw it from both sides, right? Both teams had very strong individual plays, but at the end of the day, Rutgers just closing it out. Boga, Mr. 4K. I mean, like, how many multi-kills that round, dropping 30 to finish it off as well. Had to be getting an average of 2 to 3. There's no way.
I mean, what a spectacular, just mystifying set. I mean, this is the type of hype, this type of excitement you're going to get from watching Valorant Beltway battles. So, I mean, you should keep watching. Keep up on our Twitter to see when our next scheduled matches are. And especially when playoffs, if Rutgers makes it, you get to see Jason Lee live. You get to see what he looks like. What's going
Jason
on in the
Lee,
dude's brain when he plays.
6'8" warlord, 300 pounds of pure muscle. I mean, it has to be a Chad with the way that they're running it down.
I mean, there's no other result that you want to see. So make sure to keep up with Valorant Beltway battles. Follow us on Twitter at #Arena. And I mean, I've been Soy.
And I've been Lumi.
And we'll see you around.
See ya.